Listen, bro, this summer, while most guys are like partying, having fun, and like playing around, a small group of guys will change their life completely. They will take certain actions and they will follow a certain blueprint that I'm going to go through in this video that changes the entire trajectory of the rest of their life, just because they're willing to sacrifice the next 1 to 2 months of their life to start something new. And if you can implement this framework that I'm going to go through in this video, I promise you that your life has the potential to change completely. And I'm saying this as someone myself. I used to in the past, like I've had summers where I was just like playing around, having fun with friends, and obviously there's a lot of value in that. But I also had a summer that, one of the like last summers before I really kind of like broke through and started making money online, I locked in and I did a certain framework that I'll walk you through step by step in this video that changed my life completely. Allowed me to go from living with my parents back in Sweden with like a lot of insecurity, like 500 bucks in my bank account, to now living a life of freedom, having my own apartment out here in Medellin, Colombia, making over 10K a month, all because I really committed during that one summer to this framework. And before we get into this, I also want you to realize that we're already halfway through the summer. We're in half of July already, which means that you don't have a lot of time left to implement this stuff before you go back to work, before you go back to school, or wherever you're doing right now. So like really like implement this stuff if you want to see the change in your life. And I promise you, like it has the potential to completely transform things and put you in a way better position that you're in right now. So to understand this, we first need to kind of like dive into just like what most people spend their time, and what you're probably spending your time doing right now during the summer. What I used to do is like you're hanging out with friends, you're going for like, you're going swimming, you're going like partying and like doing all this fun stuff. And that's obviously a big part of your like your childhood and like growing up, and like when you're from like 15 to like 20, 25 years old, you want to have a lot of fun, you want to obviously like experience life, travel and things like that. And there's no problem with that. But if you need to realize that if you want to change your life, the summer is also the perfect time for you to get started with that. Because if you just commit like 2 to 3 months between like July to August to getting into something, to learning one certain skill or starting one type of business, but the most important thing is you need to do it in the right way. Because most people, they get into some type of business model like trading or like SMMA or like affiliate marketing, or like they try to do some type of business model that's very complex to do. And for this framework to work out, you need to make sure that you're committing to the right type of business model. And here's what I mean. Okay, so think about it like this. If you're, for example, getting into like a SMMA or like a trading business model or anything like that, for you to succeed with that, in most businesses, you're gonna have to be doing it for a long time. Unless you have a lot of skills and a lot of experience come into it, you're gonna have to spend probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, even 5 years to actually get really good at it and actually start making a lot of money from it. And the issue with those models is like, for example, if you're doing trading and you're having to invest money to make money back, and like the risk, if you lose, which is very likely that you do, then like you're not able to keep going with a business model for a long time, because if you don't see success, you're literally losing money. And it makes so that you can't just keep going with it forever, because eventually you will lose on your money and then you will not be able to continue from there on. Same with like if you're doing drop shipping or like Amazon FBA or like any of those business models, it's like you're having to pay to get people who are going to be buying your products. You have to pay to get clients, which means that you can't just keep going. And if you're not making money from it, you're actually losing money by running the business model. And that's going to be the biggest thing that's going to hold you back from succeeding, because you need to get into a business model. You need to do something that's guaranteed to work out as long as you just keep going. And that also means that you need to get into a business model that's going to allow you to just keep going for an unlimited amount of time without using your resources. So let me know if this makes sense. So basically, you need to get into a model which, for example, like sales or like content creation or like social media, any of those things where you can just like the cost of you doing the business is pretty much zero, which means you can just keep going and keep doing it like as much as you want. And if you can get into a game like that, it's basically gonna guarantee your path to success. And that's what I did. That's what changed my life completely. I was going from like doing an SMMA where I was like investing all this money into the business, and like I was draining my bank account. I was going down. I was like, shit, if I keep doing this for another like 4 months, my bank account is going to be in the negative. So like I have to find something else that I can keep doing. And that's the issue with those business models. And that's why I see a lot of young guys as well that I speak with on a daily basis. They try doing trading or try doing SMMA or try doing drop shipping, but they fail because they don't have enough capital to keep pouring into the business until it actually works out. which means that they need to get into a different game, they need to get into a different type of business model that's going to allow them to keep going without capital. So that's what I did. So basically what I did in my own kind of case is I shifted from those complex business models where I was pouring all this capital into it to starting a business model which basically is focused around me learning a skill. Which basically was remote sales, which is focusing on learning one single skill, getting really good at that one thing, and then working for another company and helping them with their sales inside their business. And that allowed me to basically, I was in a vehicle where really the only investment I was making was just like in my own skill development and learning. But there was no like actual investment in running ads or like running the business or any of those things, which basically meant that I was able to just keep going with it for as long as I wanted. And I knew that if I just get good enough at the skill, I'm gonna make money. Same thing now recently when I started about like 5 months ago with like this content creation and like making these videos and things like that. I knew when I got into this game, like basically making these videos doesn't really cost me a lot of like time or a lot of like resources, a lot of money. So I can just keep going and keep doing this and keep providing value and keep sharing the stuff that I've been learning for another like 4 years. And I know if I just keep going, if I just provide enough value, people will be watching it and I will be able to actually start helping people, providing value, and then in turn also make money from it while doing it. So that's what I want to take away from this, is just like if you use this summer to get into a vehicle that is going to guarantee you to get to the result that you want, as long as you just keep going and you make sure that you get into a vehicle that doesn't have a lot of like startup costs and a lot of expenses while you're doing it, then you can basically just set yourself up to get on the trajectory to like create a lot of wealth, a lot of success in your life this exact summer. So, and I think the best ways to get started is either learning the skill of doing like remote sales and getting into like online business and helping them with their sales stuff, or starting your own journey of like creating content. Both of these things have allowed me to make full-time incomes online. I'm making around 2.8K per month right now from the content creation stuff, and I also made well over 10K per month doing remote sales as well. So like both of these opportunities are gonna get you there 100% if you just commit to them. But the reason why most people will fail, and why you probably will fail to be honest, is because you're not able to commit to it. And that's the kind of the negative part of this, is like you have to fucking commit. Like it's not a get rich quick. It's gonna require you to really just put your head down, be consistent as fuck, and just like stay with it, keep doing it for a long amount of time. And that is transparently why most people fail. But if you can like if you can stick out from like what most people do, and if you can just commit and just like decide I'm gonna commit to this for the next like 6 months, next year, next 2 years, I promise you that the success is possible to be had if you just decide to commit to it. So, and if you want my help and like learn how like the blueprints that I used specifically of like how exactly I got into both sales and also with like when it comes to content creation, you can click the link down in the description. You can see more down there about like how you can get help from my own sales mentor, and also get help from me on like learn my blueprint of like how to make money with a very small audience on YouTube. So if you're interested, click the link in bio. If not, no worries either way. I'm gonna see you as always tomorrow in the next video. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. And I'll see you very soon. Ciao.